The Two Frogs. Once upon a time, in a damp, shadowy corner of a sun-dappled forest, there lay a deep, ancient well. Over the years, the well had become home to many creatures, but none were as unlikely as the two frogs who lived within its cool, echoing walls. Their names were Hopper and Croaker. Although they shared the same confined space, their hearts and minds were as different as night and day. Hopper was a bright-eyed, restless frog with a passion for adventure. Every day, he would sit on a smooth stone near the water's edge, gazing up at the narrow circular opening of the well, and imagining a world beyond. To Hopper, the well was not the entire universe, it was merely a small beginning. He dreamed of sunlit meadows, sparkling ponds, and towering trees that reached for the sky. His spirit was filled with curiosity and hope, and he believed that if he could muster enough courage, one day he might leap from the well and explore the vast world outside. In contrast, Croaker was a more cautious soul. His skin was a little duller and his eyes a bit wearier from years of living in the same confined space. To Croaker, the well was everything. He knew every stone, every ripple, every echo that danced along its walls. He often told Hopper, with a deep, rumbling voice, "Our home is safe and known. Why would we ever leave what we understand? The well is all there is." Croaker's certainty was born of comfort and habit. He had never experienced the unknown, and the idea of change filled him with unease. Every day, as the golden sun crept over the forest canopy, Hopper would practice his leaps. With every jump, he strained toward the rim of the well, flinging himself upward with all his might. Sometimes, he would land near the top, feeling the cool, rough stone of the well's edge under his tiny webbed feet, and for a brief, shining moment, he felt that the world outside might be within his grasp. But gravity would always claim him, and he would splash back into the water with a mix of determination and disappointment. Croaker, watching from below, would shake his head. "Don't waste your energy, Hopper," he'd croak. "The well is our world, and it is safe here." One humid afternoon, as the two frogs lounged in the clear water reflecting specks of sunlight, an unexpected visitor arrived. A graceful dragonfly, her iridescent wings shimmering in the light, buzzed down and hovered near the edge of the well. Her name was Luna, and she was known throughout the forest for her travels and her wondrous tales of faraway places. Sensing the longing in Hopper's eyes, Luna perched lightly on the rim and began to speak of the world beyond. A world where the skies were vast and blue, where lush meadows and crystal-clear ponds stretched as far as the eye could see, and where the gentle whisper of the wind told stories of freedom and possibility. Hopper listened with rapt attention, his heart pounding with excitement. "Oh, Luna," he exclaimed, "it sounds like a dream come true. I must see these wonders with my own eyes." But when he turned to share his excitement with Croaker, his friend merely sighed and replied, "Dreams are fine, Hopper, but they are nothing compared to the safety of what we know. The well is our home, and it has served us well all these years." Despite Croaker's words, the seed of possibility had been firmly planted in Hopper's heart. For weeks afterward, he practiced his leaps with renewed vigor. Every jump was fueled by Luna's vivid descriptions, and every time his legs stretched upward, he pictured the sprawling forest beyond. Slowly, through trial and error, Hopper began to notice subtle improvements. One morning, he leaped higher than ever before, his powerful legs propelling him closer to the rim. For a brief moment, his head emerged above the opening, and he could feel a gentle caress of a warm breeze, a taste of the freedom he so deeply desired. Encouraged by this small victory, Hopper's determination grew. He began to plan, carefully studying the well's dimensions and observing how the sunlight changed throughout the day. In the quiet hours of dawn, when the forest was still and the water was mirror-like, he practiced his jumps with careful concentration, each leap becoming more confident and daring. At last, one fateful morning, after many days of perseverance, Hopper felt a surge of energy as he launched himself upward. With a mighty push, he soared higher than he ever had before. For a long, heart-stopping moment, he was airborne. As he neared the rim, he felt the cool, solid stone under his feet. With one final, determined effort, Hopper climbed onto the edge of the well. His eyes widened with wonder as he peered out at the vast world that stretched before him. The sight was more magnificent than he had ever imagined. The forest unfolded into a lush tapestry of greens and golds, the distant sound of a babbling brook reached his ears, and the sky above was a brilliant expanse of blue dotted with wispy clouds. His heart swelled with joy, and he knew that this was the beginning of a new chapter in his life. In that moment, Hopper understood that his dream of a world beyond the well was real and within his grasp. Down below, Croaker watched in stunned silence. The friend he had always known as content in the familiar now saw Hopper venturing into a realm of endless possibility. For a long while, Croaker wrestled with a mix of envy, fear, and a dawning realization. He had clung to the safety of the well for so long that the thought of something new was both exhilarating and terrifying. Hopper, now perched on the edge of the world he had always dreamed of, turned back and called softly to his friend. "Croaker, come and see. There is so much beauty beyond our little home. I promise you, it is worth the leap." His voice was gentle and full of hope, a heartfelt invitation to share in the wonder he had discovered. For a long, agonizing moment, Croaker hesitated. Every instinct in him urged caution to remain within the confines of the well where everything was familiar. Yet, as he gazed at Hopper's triumphant smile and the dazzling world that beckoned, something stirred within him, a quiet, courageous spark. Slowly, with a deep, steady breath, Croaker gathered his courage. "If you can, I will try," he murmured, his voice trembling but determined. Encouraged by Hopper's outstretched friendship, Croaker began his own journey. With trembling limbs and a racing heart, he mustered all the courage he could find and leapt. At first, his jump was uncertain, his small body wobbling as he attempted to climb the steep, slick walls of the well. But as he repeated his leap, inspired by the sight of his friend and the promise of the unknown, Croaker's efforts grew stronger. With each determined jump, he inched closer to the rim until finally, with one courageous burst, he emerged into the sunlight. The two frogs, united by their shared journey, marveled at the vast, beautiful world that lay before them. Together, they explored the gentle streams, the fragrant meadows, and the cool, dappled groves of the forest. Every sight, every sound, filled them with wonder and joy, and the once limited world of the well became a distant memory. In time, Croaker learned that while the familiar may offer comfort, it is only by taking risks and embracing change that one can truly grow. He realized that life was not meant to be confined to a small, predictable space. Instead, it was an endless adventure waiting to be discovered. And Hopper, with his unyielding determination, found that sharing his dream made it even more precious. Moral of the story ***. The tale of the two frogs teaches us that while safety and familiarity can be comforting, true growth comes from daring to dream and having the courage to leap into the unknown. By believing in ourselves and supporting one another, we can discover a world far richer and more beautiful than we ever imagined. Every heart has its own unique rhythm, and sometimes it only takes one brave leap to touch the sky.